Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Repairs. Today I got a good one for you. You guessed it. Taping up the Subaru for paint. I thought I'd give you a quick overview on how I'm doing it. Yeah, for the guy who's working in his garage, this is kind of how you want to do it. First thing you want to do is outline everything with 1.5 inches that you want to paint. I did the door, as you can see. I outlined it in 3/4 and then I put paper around it. Now I put the plastic over the car. As you can see, I trim the plastic out and now I'm gonna tape it down. And on this part, I pulled the plastic down and I stuck it to the tape because the sticky is on top here. So I kind of was trimming it with a razor blade and I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to make a quick video and just show you guys how I'm doing it. So I already trimmed. I just took the razor blade and trimmed it, as you can see. Just barely touch it, and I kind of keep the razor blade right under the panel edge. Barely touch it with the razor blade. You want to use a new one. And trim it all the way around. So basically I think I got it all the way to that point. Let's see what we got. So then you should just be able to just pull it up. Sometimes you miss a spot. Sometimes you'll miss a spot, or you'll hit the tape and then it'll bunch up onto the hood. So basically, all I do is I just kind of get the plastic off of there first. Okay, it looks like I missed a spot there. Yeah, so you get the plastic off first. Figure out where you need to cut. Don't be inking on it. There we go. I missed a spot there. Not a big deal. And then I just take the razor blade, just barely touch it. And that should pretty much do it. So you want to be careful when you're doing this that you tape down these burrs, because you don't want to be painting. Look at that, it's a sliver. So you want to get rid of that sliver. It's a plastic sliver. Just get it the heck out of here. Make sure it's not on your hands. And now what I'm going to do, as you can see, the tape is kind of bunched up there because I probably hit it. Not a big deal. You just kind of, now that the plastic's not on there, just kind of pull it back. And all these little areas that the plastic is lifted up, you want to tape down. So like right here, you can see the plastic is lifted up. You want to make sure that that's sticking. Otherwise, when you go and paint, you're going to be not happy. So yeah, when you do this stuff, any area that needs to be taped, just tape before you move on to any other sections. Keep an eye on what's going on. Make sure the tape is under the hood, rolled under the hood. So I got a spot right here I don't like. Make sure that tape is rolled under the hood. I can't emphasize that enough. Now this plastic, you can buy at any auto parts store, any paint shop, and you want to make sure it says paint side up. If it doesn't say paint side up, you got the bag upside down and you have to fix it. So this is the kind of plastic I'm buying from 3M. 06724. It is 16 by 400. Don't get the 12 by 350. Get the 16 by 400. So, okay. So now I've trimmed my plastic and I made sure it's all taped down on the hood. Now I'm going to work on the pillar here because I'm going to blend the top of the fender, and I also want to blend the pillar a little bit so the fender comes right to here. I want to make sure it matches. So I'm going to show you how I got that. So let's see here. So basically, pretty basic. I already outlined it in paper. So now all I gotta do is trim the plastic. So I'm just gonna, this is where I'm gonna stop right here too. So I'm gonna keep the car covered to right at this point. Okay, gonna trim the plastic on the pillar there. I just, sorry about the technical difficulty there. The camera actually fell down. So here we go, we're gonna trim. Gonna trim the plastic. I'm just gonna trim it right on this piece of tape that I got. Not gonna worry about, I'm not pressing hard on it, just barely touching it. It just cuts. Doesn't take much to trim the plastic. You don't want to cut too much because then you'll go through the paper, scratch the windshield. You know, you don't want to do that. So there you go, it's already done. So now, just to keep it on the safe side, I'm going to tape this section down. So the plastic doesn't fly out. And I always make little pieces of tape. Looks like I got some right there on my leg. Just throw them on my leg, not a big deal. That way you don't have to keep messing around with the roll, which is a big pain in the butt. So I'm just going to tape it down there. I'm not going to final tape it just yet. I just want to get it so it doesn't move. Because this plastic is actually pretty hard to work with. So I got it cut to there. Going to cut it just a little bit more. I'm going to bring it around. Okay, I'm just gonna tape it down now. Like I say, so it can't move. Okay, now this is the kicker right here. Just gonna tape it right, cut it right across. One thing you don't want is this plastic flopping around when you're painting. So you want to make sure everything is taped down nice and solid. So there we go. So this is what I did on this side. As you can see, I outlined it in paper. Then I took and back taped. I ran a piece of 3/4 and I back taped it on this edge. There's an edge there. I know you can see it. So I taped it and then I just rolled it down and then I taped it. So basically what's going to happen is when I'm done clearing, all I got to do is grab this right here, pull down on it, and this 3/4 will come right out and it'll just roll off of this edge. Not a big deal. I just don't want to leave it on there because it might leave a line. If you do a back tape like this and you melt it in and you can peel off your rolled tape, it'll just melt right into the edge. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to tape it and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm just going to set the camera on the hood. I'm hoping you can see it. Pretty sure you can. So there's an edge right here, and I already got it taped to the windshield. So even if something happened, overspray wouldn't get past the tape. So you got two options. You can either use 1.5 inch, which I think is a little tougher to roll. Or you use 3/4. So now I'm going to tape this plastic on there complete because I didn't do that yet. So I'm going to tape the plastic on because if I don't, I'm screwed. So okay, so the plastic's taped on and it looks like this area is fatter and this area is thinner. So I can roll it, but now I got an issue right here. I don't think the tape's going to cover it. So what I'm going to do is just take the 3/4 and just kind of split the difference there. Okay. Now I'm gonna back tape it. Just gonna roll it right off of this edge. Real basic. So this is what you got. And that's what I call back taping. You just wanna tape it down with your finger right on that edge, not a big deal. And you wanna roll it. Roll the paper back. Or the tape. That's all you wanna do. That's it. It's called back taping. A lot of people straight tape that, and it'll leave a good edge. You don't want that. So if you back tape, it won't leave that edge. And if you peel it off after you're done clearing before it dries, it'll kind of melt in, and you'll see what I'm talking about when you try it. So that's kind of what I'm going to do, and then now I'll show you what I got going after that. So after you back tape, you kind of want to take little bits of tape. Like I say, make sure it's rolled good. You want to just take little bits of tape and just kind of tape it down just a touch. So when you're tacking and all that good stuff, the tape's not going to fly off or anything like that. So the biggest trick is to make sure it's rolled. Pull it down a little bit. So it can be on the other side of that edge. You don't want it this side of the edge. You want it on the other side. Because when you clear, you're just going to do it like that, and then the clear will just go right. You're not going to you're just going to clear it, and that's it. Don't get real heavy on this part. Okay, I think we're pretty good. These are all the little tips and little tricks. So right here, all I got is the plastic right there. I got it tight against the car. I don't have to tape it. I probably won't, because when I bring the clear up, all the overspray is going this way. It's not going this way. But you don't want overspray going that way when you melt in your clear. Basically, base coat, metallic coat, clear coat. Always that direction. And you're saying, oh, okay, well, if I'm spraying the hood, I'm probably going to get overspray up here with the clear. And you're right, you will. So what you want to do is, even when you're basing the hood, you kind of want to go that way. Don't get all happy and get overspray all over this. This is beautiful right now. All I'm going to do to this, lightly do a little base, just a titch. Little bit of metallic right here. I'm not getting carried away, and it'll look sweet when it's done, and then melt in the clear up there. So once I get the whole thing based, I'm going to tape this section off completely, so I don't get clear overspray all over this. When I'm done clearing these big panels, then I'll peel the paper off, and I'll go ahead and I'll just do one coat of clear this way. I'll do one coat of clear this way, obviously. Try not to get any too much overspray on the hood. And then I'll do another coat, melt it in, done. Yeah, you don't want to get much overspray on this. This is real critical. On sealer, I got to seal this hood. This is going to get covered. I'm going to cover this whole area all the way up to the plastic with paper. Then I'm going to peel off it and do my base. So yeah, this bumper is all taped up, fine lined. So basically I outlined it with paper, and then I fine lined it. So when I'm done painting this bumper, I got to pull this fine line right away. When I'm done clearing, the last coat of clear, I have to pull this fine line. If you don't, you will most likely peel some paint, or you'll have a heck of a time getting that off. So you want to make sure you pull the fine line right when you're done clearing, because it's just so much easier. Even around here, this area is black. all this stuff that's taped up is black. So the, you know, the bumper is going to be white with black trim. So that's another hot tip for you. Another hot tip is to make sure the plastic isn't laying like that. We're not done yet, so I'll show you what I got going there. I'm going to finish taping this up, and then I have to back tape with tape right here, and I'll show you how I do that. I couldn't really do it the way it is, so the way I had this door taped up, I kind of spaced it anyway. So I'll show you how I do that quick. Just grabbing my stand. So yeah, now we're gonna tape the bag down, and then I'm going to fine line it, or back tape it right here. So I'm going to go ahead. I already got the bag taped all the way around, down to the ground. It's still loose down here, not a big deal. Now I'm going to tape the plastic to the car. Try to keep it as tight as I can. So it ain't flopping around. And if it is flopping around, it's going to be flopping around overspray. You know, you don't want that dust. So I'm going to pull the bag like that, kind of get it tight. You can use 3/4 if you want on this. I like just doing it with 1.5 inches. You don't have to mess around with it too much. You just get it. So I don't know if you guys can see down here, but I'm just taping right down to the floor. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. Taping the plastic in and the paper. I tape the plastic and the paper right down to the floor. That way when I'm painting, overspray is not getting underneath the car and probably under the bag. You know, there's a good chance. It's got a good chance to get under the bag in front, not so much in back. Try to make sure the tape is sticking. Okay, so now I got this all taped up. Pretty much satisfied with it. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a little bit of tape in there and then back tape it quick. Now I got two options. I can do the 1.5 inches or the 3/4, and I'm just going to do the 3/4. Now you might need something to tape to hold it in. So basically all I do, since I forgot to do it, I just kind of throw it up in there, get it where I want it. I can touch it good on this side, but you can't really get in there with your hand. So if you got something thin, I just use like a credit card. It works good. Another hot little tip. Hopefully you can see what I've got going there. So yeah, so I just got the tape sitting in there, and I could touch the edge here, so I got it on there good. And now I'm just going to take a credit card. And it's all clean up in there, so I know the tape's going to stick. So I'll leave the credit card out just for a second to make sure we're good. And take my tape that I got sitting on my leg, plenty of it. And I just kind of tape the back tape to the paper. Kind of pull down on it as I'm doing it. And that way I know that it's not sitting on that edge. You don't want to be on, you want to be on the back side of the body line. Don't be afraid to do it. It works out great. You just don't want to straight tape it. I like to pull down on it with my thumb just to make sure it's on the other side. It's real important that you do. That it's on the other side. It's got to be. Otherwise it'll just have some heavy buildup. So yeah, so now I'm going to do this side, kind of like I did the other side. And I'll give you that idea. Look at how wide it is right there. When I roll, if I use 3/4, it's not going to cover that area right here. It'll get some overspray. So I'm just gonna tape it like I did last time. Just gonna tape it like, I don't know, right there will work. Because we're not going to be painting inside of there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to grab the tape here, get enough. I'm going to bring it right down to the tape I got. Bring it right to the edge. I'm going to roll it. But just make sure you got it on the edge. You can even bend it around a little bit if you want. And then just kind of secure it, just so it ain't flopping around. And you know it ain't gonna fly up when you're painting. And remember, you're painting it this way. The gun's not gonna be like right there on that edge. So when you paint it, the paint will just kind of go around it. Not a big deal. You're not getting heavy right there. You're not laying it on. And the reason why I'm doing it like this is because the windshield's in the way. And then you got that molding, which you can't tape off, and you're going to get paint on it. So I'd rather just do it like this and be done with it. So if you keep the the paint going this way, you won't get a big edge. That's another hot tip. If you guys like these hot tips, please subscribe to the channel. It's going to help me grow. So basically, now we're all taped up. Another hot tip here. As you can see, I got the tape almost on the edge of the body here. This is for the mirror. That'll keep air from getting in the door, also keep dirt from flying out. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Normally I'd probably cover that, but I'm not going to get that picky. Those little areas there. So I got the door handle area taped. I just trimmed it with a razor blade. As you can see, just trimmed it with a razor blade. These areas, they're tough to tape off. So that's what you got to do on these Subarus if you want to get a good tight tape right there. But yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about that. So now next step is to get the bag cinched. So all I do here is grab some tape. Probably 3/4, 2 inch, or inch and a half. Oh, actually, I probably got a lump on my leg. So yeah, I just grab the paper. I kind of do it on both sides. It seems like, do it kind of like this on both sides. It seems like it works best. Just make sure you tape it all the way around. I don't think I got enough. Yep. So just try to get it as tight as you can. So the bag's not flopping around. You don't want that bag flopping around. And overspray is going to get underneath, and maybe some will get on the car. I mean, that's just, I could tape the bag all the way down, but I'm not going to get that picky with it. So yeah, now we got to do the same to the back. And we're going to be ready to rock and roll. On the side, I kind of like to cinch her down a bit too. So this is kind of what I'll do on this. I'll keep the 1.5 inches going. The car is dirty. It's gonna probably not a whole lot's gonna want to stick. This tape I'm using is not that great. Tape is so expensive. I try to buy middle of the road tape. It's just so expensive. You gotta do something to save money. So yeah, I just kind of pull the paper through the plastic as tight as I can. Try to get some of that taped up. Sometimes I'll even tape it down on the rim if it needs to be. Yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing to the back and prep. I still have the fenders to prep, so when I get that ready, I'll show you kind of what I got after that. Okay, I got the fenders prepped, ready to paint. Got the stands all blown off. I prepped this fender, used 1,000 wet, and then I finished it with a gray scuff pad all the way around. It's got some chips in it and stuff. It's got a little chip here on the edge. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to, when I seal, I'm going to take and just dab the sealer right here just a little bit, and then I'll base. This is my blend panel anyway, so I got to get some base coat up on here. So I'm not worried about that, but I got to get that covered with sealer, otherwise it'll rust. It's a chip. I feathered it out with 1,000, so we should be good there. I taped off what I didn't want to paint. There's a molding on here and mud flat, so we're good to go there. Everything's ready for wax and grease. Another hot tip is to wire the fender to the stand. I got a wire there, wire down there so it doesn't fall off when you're moving it. I got the bumper wired right here to the stand. See if you can see the wire there. You don't want the bumper falling off. It's only attached right there and right here. You got these little arms that come out. Another hot tip when you're taping these bumpers off so you don't get overspray on the outside black part that's on the bottom, you have to paper it. I see a lot of guys don't, and then the overspray gets in the grills and stuff, and you'll see it on the outside on the black, so you don't want that. So yeah, I got this taped up pretty good. Another hot tip, any kind of rubber bumper, even though this is primed, you still want to use waterborne cleaner. You don't want to use wax and grease on rubber or anything, especially raw rubber. Waterborne cleaner on bumpers only. So on this bumper I prepped, they recommend 1,000 wet or dry. I used wet, and then I went over it with a gray scuff just quick. Make sure I got all the little nooks and crannies. And I did the same thing with this fender. I 1,000'd it quick, and then I went over it with a gray scuff pad. They say you don't even have to sand E-coat fenders. You can just seal right over them, but I don't like doing that. So same with the hood. I 1,000'd, and actually I kind of went over it with a red scuff pad too. And 1,000 and probably gray a little bit. And the door, same thing, 320, 400, 600, and then I went over it with 1,000 wet. And blend panel here, same thing, 1,000, sanded out a little chip, 1,000 gray, and then I went from here up gold, which is finer. Gray scuff pad on the whole door. So yeah, I just want to make a quick video on how I prep stuff. and give you some hot tips, and hopefully you guys will leave me some comments and let me know if I'm doing it right or wrong, or how you like to see it done. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing. I'm going to make this video quick and short, just to show you how I get a car ready to paint. So I appreciate you watching, liking, subscribing, clicking the bell, thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you.